Alexa, what's the last frost date for Savannah, Georgia?
From KentuckyLiving.com, the average frost-free date for our area is not until May 10th, so we still have a few weeks to go before we are in the clear.
All right, fam. So as you heard, we still have about a few more weeks before our last frost date. The weather has been unseasonably warm, but we did have a very, very cold winter for our area. We had freezing weather that lasted for a pretty long time, and it did do significant damage to a lot of our plants. But today, I think I'm gonna go ahead and start cutting back on some of the banana plants. All right, so even though we still have a few weeks left, we never get enough cold to where it will damage the plant, you know, to the point where it won't come back. If we do get another freeze, it will damage the leaves again, but it will produce new leaves. So we are blessed in that portion of growing bananas in this area. We have a lot of work to do. My yard looks horrible because I left the plants, you know, the way they were because I wanted to protect them from the cold that possibly would come and give them the best chance for coming back this season. So we're gonna go ahead and get to work today and get some of these plants chopped down. I'm gonna bring y'all along with me, and we're gonna see what it looked like after I finish. But I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all some of my plants now, and then we're gonna see what it looked like afterwards. So fam, this is the bunch that sits directly in front of the house. As you can see, we got a couple of pups that are pushing out already. But this clump looks absolutely horrible. And it produced probably 5 racks of bananas last year. So most of this is gonna get cut back. All right, fam, so most of y'all know, it's getting a little warm out here already, that banana plants only produce once. Once it produces, that plant will no longer grow leaves or produce any more fruit. So at that point, the plant usually will sit there and the nutrients from that stem of that banana will go back down into the crumb and feed the other banana plants. So for aesthetic purposes, when we're growing in our landscape, we tend to cut them back. All right, so you don't necessarily have to cut them back all the way to the ground. You can leave them up some, so the rest of the nutrients from that particular banana plant will actually go down and help feed the other plants. But because it looks like this and it's in your landscape, you actually want to do something to make it look a little better. So you go ahead and cut it down. In a while, it'll just stay there and it'll suck all the juices from that plant and feed the other ones. Here on our homestead, we're gonna cut it back. I'm probably gonna leave maybe 2 feet of it to feed, and I will chop the rest of it up and we will use it as mulch. So we're gonna go ahead and get to cutting. This particular bunch most of these plants did fruit last year. So just about all of them will be gone. It will pretty much be nothing, and they'll be starting from scratch. But because the cromb is so big, the pups will grow very fast, and I still will produce bananas out of this bunch this year. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. So y'all did see me harvest the bananas off of this one last year. As y'all can see right here, this will be the pup that will take the place of this particular banana plant, because this plant has so much nutrients still left inside of it. This plant will absorb it really quick, and it will grow really fast. So you can see I did cut all my fruiting bananas back, probably about 2 feet. You do not have to cut them back that much, or you can cut them back more. That's just what I decided to do. Okay. And as you can see, each one of these plants have pups that's growing off them that will replace them as the fruiting bunch. So as I look at this one here, I do not think this one actually fruited last year, because if you can see, that is the woody stalk that shoots up that holds the banana plant dead in the center. This one does not have that, so I mistakenly cut that back further than I would have if I would have thought about it. This is one from last year, a year before last. This is another one. It is all dried out all the way. There's nothing much left to it. Everything that was there went back down into the ground and was used to produce all the other plants that fruited last year. The ones I just cut look like this. By next year, they will look like these. And these plants here will grow tremendously over the summer. They will start now. So now that I actually got some of the dead leaves off, the sun rays will be able to penetrate through some of the stuff, and they'll come right back. They will grow right back. So fam, this is another one that actually produced for me last year. I did not get an opportunity to harvest these bananas because I didn't feel like they were No, big enough. It is a monster. All right, fam, cutting them down is the easy part. Now we have to go about removing all of the debris. Now, in the front yard, the work just began. Here, on the side and in the back, it's not a big problem. What you want to do is go ahead and chop up your leftover banana plant and spread it around your plant. It will seep down into the ground and feed your plant. All right. It can be a mess. It can look pretty messy. It's the reason why if you have it in the front of your property, the aesthetic part of it probably wouldn't be that appealing. But it is a necessary part if you want to feed your plant and not have to pay a whole bunch of money for food that you already have available. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started with that. And we're gonna show y'all maybe a little bit of what that look like. All right, guys, so as most of y'all know, banana plants are ferocious feeders. Your lawn waste, grass clippings, whatever is perfect for putting around your banana plants and allowing them to feed. If you have cows, horses, rabbits, chickens, it's almost impossible to overfeed a banana plant. I never saw it done. So if it is possible, I'm not aware. All they're gonna do is make them produce a way bigger plant with a lot more fruit. So basically all I do with banana plant is try to just split it up a little bit. And you got to break it down because it won't break down otherwise. Then I chop it up. And as you can see, that gives me pieces, and all I do is feed it back to the plant. It's not too difficult. I mean, depending on the amount of plants you got, if you got like I got, it's gonna be some work. I showed y'all some of them, but I have more. The not so appealing part of it is the way these leaves look is pretty much the way they gonna look. Like I spoke when I said earlier that because they made paper and clothing and all that stuff out of this plant, it means it's a tough plant. It don't actually break completely down. So you will have this stuff all over your yard, because when the wind blow, it's like paper. It's gonna blow away. And if you don't help this thing break down, you will have probably all kind of bugs and everything climbing inside of it, trying to feed off of it, which may get down into your plants. So you definitely want to break it down. And this process is a lot easier when your plant is fresh. When it has, if you cut it down right after it fruit, you can go ahead and chop it up. The plant's still nice and firm, and it chops up a lot easier. All right, fam. So, as you can see, it's a whole mess out here. And using the blade to actually chop this up kind of got a little tiresome. I got a lot of plants. I got a lot of chopping up to do. So what I decided to do is get my Sawzall. All right. And I have tried this and it works pretty well. So basically all I do is split it and cut it in pieces. All right, so you may ask what I do with all this. Simply throw it back to the plant. Chop and drop. These pieces of the banana plant still has a lot of nutrients in them, and you can throw them right back to the plant. They will break down and the plant will feed off them. The remaining plants will feed off of them. Now the brown leafy portion, that's not the best for that. You know, like I said, if you're doing banana plants for aesthetics at all, you definitely don't want to lead those down because they pretty much stay this way. And when wind blow, they will blow all over your yard. So it takes them a long time to actually break down. So I would not suggest leaving that there. But if you're in the area where you're just doing banana production, just trying to grow the best bananas, you're not really worrying about the aesthetics of it, by all means, throw the banana leaves all around it. You know, it'll mulch the ground. It will give some nutritional value, while not as much because they are already dried out, but they will provide some shade, some cover to the ground, so your roots can grow and come up and feed without getting dried out. All right, fam, so I got a lot more of this to do. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this up and I'll show you what I do with the rest. All right, fam, so you can see most of the stalks that I chopped down were chopped up into pieces and spread along this clump of banana plants that I have directly in front of the house. And yes, it looks a mess, but I do know what it will look like in just probably another month or two. So I have that to look forward to. And this is the pile of leaves from the banana plant on just that one clump. And imagine I have a lot more. So I will use these for compost. I will put them in our raised beds, and I will put some around some trees depending on where they're located. But it's a lot, but it's a part of growing banana plant. All right, so this is an example of one of the plants that everything has been chopped and dropped around the plant. And this is another one. So I'm more concerned about the banana production on these particular plants than I am the aesthetics. So I have no problem with putting all the leaves and the stems as I chop them around the plant. All right, fam, so it has been one day since I chopped my trees back. So what I do is go ahead and get these plants started off right. I go ahead and give them a boost. So I start off with some liquid fertilizer, which I pour around all of my banana plants. This is 5 gallons of liquid fertilizer, and these are some granulates. So I put a good bit of granulates around each plant. The bigger the mat, the more granulates. All right, so the liquid fertilizer will go ahead and give an immediate boost to the plant to go ahead and wake it up, get it going. And the granulates will continuously feed it over time. Now with the granulates, I probably will end up with the amount of banana plants I have, feeding it 300 to 400 pounds of granulates, which is a lot, but to me it's worth it. All right, fam. Thank y'all for joining me on this joyous occasion, our beginning of spring, where everything gets to bounce back and my babies get to come back to me. It's been a long winter. It's been a hard winter. And my plants did get hit pretty hard. I lost some, but you know, that's how this growing thing goes. Mother Nature has the last say. But I appreciate y'all joining me. I will keep y'all abreast of everything that takes place with my banana plants and on our homestead. Till the next time, guys, like, share, subscribe, hit that bell so you'll be notified next time we release another video. We appreciate you, love you, peace.